views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in this podcast are the content creator's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of Essex County College. The material and information presented here is for entertainment and informative purposes only. It should not be considered as professional advice or a substitute for seeking professional guidance.
Stay in your lane. Good evening and welcome everyone to the Stay in Your Lane podcast with your girl Samantha. How is everyone doing today? I want to say thank you guys for actually tuning in. Welcome to episode 5. Oh my God, guys, we're on episode 5 already. Wow. I cannot believe that. If you guys have not checked out the previous episode, I want you guys to go ahead and check us out on YouTube and also on Spotify. Remember, it's the Stay in Your Lane podcast. Okay? And yeah, check out episode 1, 2. Episode 3 was released Monday on the 7th. And then we're going to be having episode 4. It's going to be released in this Friday, and you guys don't want to miss that. It's an amazing interview with an amazing artist, a very, very great artist. So today, guys, it's Self-Care Monday. That's what I'm calling it, Self-Care Monday, okay? Today, I'm just here. I didn't really have put down a lot of things to talk about. Like usually I have like my notes and stuff, but today it's just gonna be like a conversation we're gonna have, right? So I want you guys to just stay tuned. We're gonna be releasing 2 episodes per week, one on Friday, one on Monday, which will be a conversation with us talking and getting together, and then on Friday it will be interviews which will be released. So today the topic for today that I want to talk about is the rebrand of yourself and also what trauma does to someone, right? And that lead into the self-care of you finding back yourself. And I just came up with this episode. As I said to you guys, I may be a little bit over the place today because I'm just talking, right? I'm just going to have just a conversation with you guys. But buckle up for all my beautiful ladies out there and all my king. We already know this life itself. When it comes to mental health, many people stay far away from it, right? But we all go through that. And I know each of us has went through different type of trauma. Everybody goes through trauma. And it's all about how you actually come out of it. Some people, when they go through trauma, it kind of help them to rebrand themselves and become a better individual. Some people, it takes them a while to actually get out of that phase. So but at the end of the day, sometimes trauma, it can affect our mental health. And many people don't like to talk about that. And I don't know why. In today's world, with all that is going on, it's about to be that time, especially we have voting season around the corner, elections, a lot of stuff that's going on in the media. But it's just so taboo today for people to actually talk about the big stigma that actually hold back a lot of people. And it's when you go through trauma and what you suffer after that. Well, not only that, sometimes we end up losing ourselves, and you just have to find back yourself. It's that rebranding. So yes, today I was really going through and I was thinking about what I want to talk to everyone about. It's what I want to talk to my kings and queen about. It's what do I want to share today. And this season of my life, it's all about me being vulnerable, right? All about me not being afraid, like whatever is in my thoughts, because sometimes we have so much things in our thoughts and we just bottle it up and just afraid to share it because we be like, oh my God, I don't want this person to maybe judge me. I don't want them to have that. But I think this point in my life, it's all about self-care. I'm going through a rebranding with God Himself, because after suffering a 5-car accident, it really changed me a lot. Mentally and physically, it took a toll on me physically because, of course, I'm not able to do the amazing things, wear the amazing heels that I used to wear, you know. Ooh. And I'm also not able to, how can I put it? Drive. Like, I could drive now because I'm in a better state mentally. But since my car accident back in August of 2022, I haven't been behind a car wheel because I've developed that PTSD. And if you guys don't know what PTSD is, some people suffer it. It's not only veterans, you know, like people that go to war. Because for me, guys, I don't know about you, that's what I thought it was. They always say, like, you know, men and women that go to war and they come back, they develop this PTSD and they make it seem like veteran that goes through combat history is the only one that's suffering. But no, we all sometimes suffer that throughout our life when we go through a trauma, when something traumatic happened to us, and then we find ourselves in this down stage of maybe fear or something that may trigger but that situation, and then it's like you're reliving the moment, and it kind of sometimes take you away from yourself, and you go into that little phase of where it takes you a while to actually get out of it, because there's different stages of PTSD, right? So for me, I found myself, I was in that stage for a very, very long time, and it took me a while to get out of it. So now I'm in a better place. I would say maybe probably like the end of it, where I'm confidently where, yes, I'm ready to go back behind a car wheel. And I think by the end of the year, I may get myself a new car. I haven't went to the dealers yet to look at what kind of car I want. And you guys want to know something? It's so funny because when I look back on it, is that I have not, since my car accident happened, I used to drive a C280 4MATIC. That's a Mercedes Benz. I owned it, thank God. From I had my crash, I've never went back and looked at that car. I don't know what the car looks like. Only thing I know, I remember the cops sent me a recording when I was going through the court procedures and everything. And I remember the cop made a speech and he said that it's very traumatic, like I was in a lot of pain. And based on that what he said, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I didn't even want to listen to that recording. So I don't know how my car looks. I just know that it's total. They said it's very, you know, and I just never find the courage. I didn't want to actually see it. So I don't know what they did with it there at the place where it was actually towed to. But hey, here I am in 2024 in better grace, in better place mindset wise. And it's just, when I reflect today, I'm just like, mental health is a very big thing when it comes to, like, trauma itself can change us so much, and it may take us a long time for us to even get back to ourselves. And I'm like, I think I just want to discuss that. So how do you guys out there, how do you go through, any one of you that actually goes through trauma, what are some of the different steps that you take to actually get back to yourself or actually get out of that phase, right? How long did it take you to actually get out of that space? There's no specific time. They said it's like 2-3 years. But as I do my evaluation and reading and getting to know my new self, I realize each person go through stuff differently, right? But it's all about making it back. But it's all about making it out, right? And I think as long as you be confident in knowing that you, whatever you go through, you're gonna grow through it, and you keep on going. And not only that, sometimes trauma can make you get closer to God. All right. So as I said to you guys, self-care is a very big thing. and pouring that love within ourselves. And self-care happens in many different forms. You have many different types of self-cares when it comes to relationship, when it comes to finding yourself, when it comes to this society that we're living in right now with so much judgmental people, when it comes to social media, with some people losing their confidence because of, them scrolling on social media and seeing how others living their life, and they may not be in that particular stage in their life. It can affect their mental health in certain ways. So everything plays a part, right? But the biggest thing is we have to take care of ourselves. Self-care is a big thing. And when we pour love in ourselves and do the things that we're afraid to do, that's when we actually start feeling better within ourselves. And that's what I believed in. Because going through this spiritual healing journey after my trauma has really, really makes me sit back and evaluate the way how I view self-care and how I was actually treating myself by putting others in front of me, putting others' feelings first and putting my feelings on the back burner. Please do not do that. To all my beautiful kings and queens out there, do not put yourself on the back burner by you needing self-validation from someone else and putting that person on a pedestal. Do not ever do that. And I think many of us fall short to that because, as I said, it goes back sometime where we go through a trauma and it kind of we kind of lose our identity in that trauma because it may affect us in many different areas of our life and it maybe dull your confidence. And I'm talking from experience, like me talking about this and telling you guys, it's also me actually saying it to myself too. That's why they said experience brings wisdom, right? So when you go through something and you actually kind of master it, it kind of give you the confidence in wanting to share. So someone else doesn't really go through that path. I don't know if I'm kind of like all over the place here, but I hope you guys is kind of like following with me, right? But my trauma really changed the person who I was. Like the Samantha that many of my friends or past co-worker knew was very bubbly, I was a yes person, putting others first. It changed me a lot. For one, I remember when I just came out of my car accident, not really, just a few months in my recovery, I used to have locks, right? I had locks for over 10 years. And I remember for my birthday, my accident happened August and my birthday was in October. I went and I cut off my locks. And for me, that was just like a fresh start. And it was all because I felt so, at that time in my life, I felt so lost, right? I was down. I felt lonely. I felt scared. It felt like my confidence was hit because the biggest thing for me is I love wearing heels and I love doing things by myself. I don't like to really ask for people for help. And in that moment of time, I wasn't able to do that. I was on 2 crutches, right? I was on 2 crutches just trying to live alone. So picture you living alone and you're not really able to actually navigate how you're used to navigating with 2 foot. Now you're on 1 foot. So you really have to adapt. When you have to learn you got to cook, you got to wake up, give yourself breakfast. Of course, I had help in the beginning of my accident. I want to say thank you to my godson mom. It's my good friend. She came and she helped me for the first week, and I was really appreciative of that. She came here and she was there for me. I would say they always say once you go through trauma, I think I said this in a few episodes before, it will show you the people that really care about you a lot. And she's one of the person that actually showed up for me in body. She showed up in flesh and she helped me for the first week when she was here and cooking for me, being there, helping me with this new life. And I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that. So thank you so very much, Sharon. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate that. That's what good friends are for, right? So, but after it was kind of very hard, I left and I did end up going to my family, spend a few weeks there and stuff, but I felt out of place because I'm so used to being in my circle, being by myself. I live by myself. Everything just felt so weird. And I ended up going back home, and being home by myself really was a struggle, but was also an eye opening for me to challenge myself. Challenge myself in a way of, Samantha, you can do this. Push yourself. You understand? This is just a hurdle that you're going through and you will make it over. So just push yourself. And I had to learn to use the crutches. I had to learn to use the walker. I had to learn to do things by myself. And that's what trauma does. When you're going through something, the hardship of what you're going through, it will help you to become better when you come out through the other side. And for me, that's what that experience did for me. It was very hard. I'm kind of like losing track so much. I don't know, guys. Each time I talk about this topic, it's kind of a sensitive topic. I find myself, I kind of go into limbo. Is that the right word? I'm not sure, but let's actually lift the spirit of the podcast, because I feel like I'm going down in that downer voice, and it's not a sad day. Our stories are glory, as I always say. Your trauma is yours, and it's for you to actually share. But, we go through these things. It made us develop fear. It made us lose our confidence sometimes, and it made us lose ourselves. And that's just a fact for me. It took me a while to actually find out myself and realize that I'm going through this rebranding, right? Rebranding now with me 2 years from my accident, postpartum, 2 years, going through this new life that I have right now. It's making me really pour into myself more, because I've took a big step back when it comes to friendship. That's the next topic that we will discuss next week. We will talk about friendship breaks up and what that does. But it makes me kind of look into myself like I need to put me first and realize that at the end of the day, only you and God is going to show up for yourself. And when you go through traumatic experience like this, you just have to really look out for the ones that is there for you, that help you to go through those hard times. But it also make you spend a lot of time with yourself, right? Many people doesn't know how to spend time with themselves, and spending time with yourself really help you to develop that healthy self-care, because when you get out of that phase, it make you not be a needy person of wanting to depend on somebody else. Yes, it's very hard at first, but once you go through that, it really help you to develop as a woman, to be a better woman. You're more aware of yourself. You're more aware of situation, and it makes you know how to structure and how you want to move forward within yourself. And for me, that's actually what happened. Going through this rebranding, it's just me. I'm a different Samantha these days, but this is a Samantha that is getting closer to God. This is a Samantha that thanking God for actually giving me a second chance at life. Thanking God for throwing me another lifeline in which I'm so grateful for. I'm grateful to be able to walk. I'm grateful to be able to even can attend school and do the things that I want to do. Yes, he's throwing me in a different path, but maybe this is the path that God have for me. Get amen to that. Yes. Amen. Sometimes we go through certain things and certain door may be closed and we think that's the end of the road. For me, my trauma made me feel like I was really down, guys. I was down bad. And I went into a depression state. I went into that mental state of feeling alone, that aloneness, of feeling like there's nobody, my back against the wall, feeling like I haven't achieved anything in life, feeling like I took 10 step backward. I just went into that roller coaster of that downer and feeling like my life has ended. And I really had to. I remember one day getting on my knee and pray to the Lord Jesus. Yes. Hallelujah. I had to. And I remember doing that and telling God forgive me for being mad at him, because I was really upset at him for actually hurt, I thought he had stopped many blessings with this car accident. But I realized how grateful I am because I am alive. And many people don't make it out like that. So I really had to get on my knees and ask for forgiveness. Guys, do not be afraid. My kings and queens out there, do not be afraid to actually ask God for forgiveness when we go through certain things. Do not be afraid to, when you go through something, you shouldn't away yourself and thinking that, yeah, it's very hard. We feel like we're back against the wall, but I believe God is always there. And he's there to actually help us through. There is no battle that we can't go through without him. He's there to actually be there for us, to help us to find the way of coming out on the other side. And these days, I find myself getting closer to God. And I find myself getting into more self-care of actually spending that valuable time with myself. I've always been a young lady where I spend a lot of time with myself. I'm not a person that's pushed up myself in people or be needy of, others. Some people that can, like, for example, people that's in relationship, is that they can't do without their significant others. It's like they need them to feel whole. Do not become that dependable on somebody else to where it feels like if that person ever is out of your life, you feel like you're losing it. Don't. That's not self-care. So self-care consists of, you got to pour into yourself. By pouring into yourself, you need to do the things that you actually afraid to do. You need to make sure you're getting your hair done, getting that nails done, making sure that you're taking alone time, making sure that you're journaling. That's the biggest thing. Journal your thoughts, right? For each day, write down the things that you want to accomplish. You write down the things that you want to achieve, right? And have action goals step by step. And I'm telling you guys these things, and it's something that I am implementing myself. So these are new, right? As I tell you guys, the way how I was doing self-care, it wasn't the right way. And these days, reading and watching like some nice little videos and stuff with some people, some YouTubers that I follow, is really opening up my eyes, and it's making me realize that I need to pour into myself more, and I need to take better care of myself, and I need to actually have action goals. So self-care is making sure that you're praying, guys. That's the biggest thing. Journaling, putting action into plan. So for example, if there's something that you want to achieve like in next year, in 2024, and you don't know how to actually achieve that, put it in action. Write it down. Say, for example, we're in October. Say by December of 2024, I want to be working out every day. That's just like a mid goal. Let me just make something more realistic, because we're supposed to be working out every day. For me, I want to gain weight, right? And I mentioned working out because I'm actually working out right now. I go to the gym like 3 times a week. But say, for example, you may want to go on a weight gain journey. You can put something in action. Say, for each week, I want to gain at least 5 pounds for the week. How I'm going to do that? You're going to write daily goals. Okay, so if you want to gain 5 pounds for the week, you want to put in action, I need to be eating 2,500 calories per day. You want to make sure you have your healthy breakfast. You want to make sure you have your healthy lunch. You want to make sure that you have your dinner, your 3 meals prep, right? And that's actually pouring into yourself and attacking those goals. So you want to gain maybe $5,000. You want to boost up your saving plan by the end of 2024. Remember, you have to put realistic goals also. Don't say, by the end of 2024, which is the next 2 months, you want to have 5,000 more in your saving account, but you're only working like 500 a month. That's not realistic. You understand? So you have to make sure that if for someone that has bills to pay, make sure that you actually sit down, put pen to paper how much you're making per month, per week. And then from there on, you do the calculation of how much you would want to save so you can reach your goal, a realistic one, by the end of the year. So it's just about putting things into plan, and also when it comes to your future, right? So for me, I want to be an entrepreneur, meaning I want to own my own business. I have a sunglasses store right now, and I'm looking to launch it. And there's certain things that I've been holding myself back from, like, for example, my logo has been the biggest thing. And I'm sitting on to myself the other day. I'm like, girl, you've been stuck on this logo for like years. What are you doing? Your logo? You should use your own unique self and sell your brand. You are the brand. Like, you sitting here stuck on a logo. Like, come on now. So little things like that can hinder us from our growth. Little things from that like that can actually hinder us for actually stepping out in doing the things that we want to do. And those things start from because maybe lack of confidence, maybe we don't have that self-awareness, that self-care, like those are the things, and maybe fear. And for me, I really had to look into myself, and I'm like, why do you always hold yourself back, Samantha? Sometimes we hold ourselves back from things, and I'm like, you are your biggest, how can I put it? You ever heard someone said, like, I'm my biggest fan, but the word that I'm trying to look for, like, I feel like I hold myself back from opportunity, like things that I want to do. And I have to be like, girl, you got to continue being that cheerleader. You got to step out there with no fear, like kick fear in its face and like get out and do what you got to do. Put pen to paper, create that plan and attack it. But once I realize is once you have a plan and you execute it in a right way, you will feel more better within yourself. Because for one, you're doing things that actually feed your soul. You're doing things that actually makes you feel better. And that's a form of self-care because you're pouring within yourself. And as I said to you guys, self-care goes a very, very long way. You understand? But it's all a part of that rebranding of yourself in becoming the most confident you after coming out of a trauma. Like, anytime that you need to take for yourself, take that time away. They say isolation leads to restoration, right? So take the time that you need. Don't let anyone force you, and go through that rebranding. You understand? You don't have to stick into your old self. And for anyone that has never even been into trauma and you're stuck in a particular place, I want you to look within yourself with the things that you want to achieve in your life. Look at the things that you envision yourself doing. Envision your future and just write it down. Journal it, and step by step, go towards those goals one by one and trying to attack it. I don't know why each time I talk, I'm going to try to see if I could. You ever talking, guys, as a side note? I don't know why. Every time I'm talking, it's like I always be swallowing, and it sounds so weird. It sounds so weird, but no. This is just a brief little insight of something that I want to talk about. I know I was kind of all over the place with, I'm talking about trauma, self-care, and rebranding. I put all three topics in one. I should have actually do it individually, but as I said to you guys, these are just the three things that I've just been thinking about, and I'm like, let me try to share something with you guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This Friday, we'll be having some amazing interview coming up. Ooh, stay in your lane. stay in your lane. Ooh. I haven't played around much with these, but self-care. This is the rebrand, and this is the rebrand of Samanta with me stepping out and a better me. Yeah, if I went through some trauma, that's maybe my story, but I'm in a better place, and I'm in better spirit, and I'm attacking my goals step by step, and I'm working towards it. You understand? I always say, do not let the world change your smile, but let your smile change the world. And that's my motto. Start unknown, finish unforgettable. Yes. So that's the end of episode 5. We did it. Hey, stay in your lane. Hey, let me clap for myself. Yay, I did it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you take away anything from it, I know it's just about me talking about myself and just, trying to give you guys some advice. I think, when it comes to trauma, because that's something I'm actually coming out of. But I hope you guys go check out my other episodes. Remember, stay in your lane on YouTube, stay in your lane also, and Spotify. This is your girl, Samanta. Yes, the president of the podcast club and the vice president of the business club. So come over to the Dasha and let's get it. Let's go, because we're attacking goals, and it's all about being yourself. Do not let the world change you, guys. You understand? I know there's a lot going on, and as I said, mental health is a very big thing, and go through your process and just know that you come out on top, right? You're gonna come out the most fierce and confident you. If you gotta go through that rebrand, just do it. But for now, your girl is out. Hope you guys learned something. Bye. Say in your lane. Stay in your lane. Bye. Love yourself.
This has been a production of the Essex County College Podcast Club. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved.